Basically, this is the concept when we are using cryptanalysis. In cryptanalysis, there are some important keywords like N, P, and T and D. Uh, a time when you are you want to do cryptanalysis, but the available memory at the time when actually you are doing cryptanalysis is called the pre-processing phase, while is called T, that is real-time phase. While you want to plan some cryptanalysis earlier, that phase is called pre-processing phase. And at the runtime, the memory available to the attacker is represented by M, and the real-time data for which you want to perform cryptanalysis is represented by capital D. Time memory trade-off, TMTO, is also known as time memory trade-off. So in order to save our cryptanalysis time, or in order to make our cryptanalysis successful, we need to calculate something on priority basis as early as possible. Like if we can pre-compute a table of K, E, K, X, there is a table that is called rainbow table in cryptanalysis. This is the table kind of thing. When you want to compute something, then you should know, you should have a knowledge about what is the starting point and what is the ending. Take any algorithm, then you should have a knowledge of starting point, like pick M random value x1 to xm, like whatever the random value you want to pick. That is a time memory trade-off when you are performing in the offline mode, and compute chain of T steps from each xi, and keep table of xi and h of t. H is the hash value and t is the time needed when you want to break any given block of ciphers that is represented by x, and it is sorted by h of t, means it will be sorted with the help of time variable t and with a given hash value. And what is the space? Space means what is the time that you need in order to calculate, that is called time space. And the space memory concept you all have studied earlier in data structure subject. So it is represented by order of M. So basically, time memory trade-off is the kind of concept which can be used first by Hellman in 1981. Hellman is a scientist who developed Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm that we have studied earlier. I think most of the students have attended that session when we taught about the Diffie-Hellman algorithm. The Diffie-Hellman algorithm was developed in 1981, and what is the concept in that algorithm in terms of time memory trade-off? So it compromises of the two extreme approaches. One is called the pre-computation phase and another is called the online phase. Now, what do you mean by the pre-computation and what do you mean by the online phase? Pre-computation phase in terms of Diffie-Hellman 1981 theorem is a phase, is a time zone where attacker is not having that code right now on his or her screen, but at that time that person want to plan some cryptanalysis. So this is called the pre-computation phase. In that phase you have given a plain text P. Definitely you want to your main goal is to get that message whatever is going on between the two machines. So you should have a given plain text P, and ideally pre-compute pair key ciphertext. So you have to calculate pre-compute means you have to assume, you have to apply some hit and trial in order to get the key and the ciphertext that is represented by K of I and C of J. Key is a key which is used to represent the key K, and C is a ciphertext which is used when we get after converting it plain text by applying some key and by some algorithm. So stored only some of them in the table. So we are not going to, or at that time the attacker is not going to store each and every concept, but in order to get the data ready made in a fraction of second, because that person has to play the role, play the scene. So in order to get that thing in on earlier basis, it will store some of them in the table. While in the online phase means you are now in the scene of that movie of cryptanalysis, and you have to perform some computations. You will see some lookup the table and find the key k. So what is the rough amount of time and the rough amount of memory that you will need in order to break that cryptanalysis is represented by time t. Maybe it is not exact calculations, because as you all now mature enough that each and every system is having their own configurations of uh, giving securities. So each and every crypto systems are difficult. Some crypto systems are easy to cryptanalysis, while the other crypto systems are quite tough when we want to send some very most sensitive information. So definitely like suppose a owner of a grocery market will not apply that much of security computations, while on the other hand a military person who will apply some more measures in order to ensure the security of the data. So this is the kind of crypto systems where you will where security will vary. So this is the Hellman trade-off, basically concept in order to do the time and memory trade-off. Now, what is the concept of rainbow table in time memory trade-off? One of the important concept in time memory trade-off is rainbow table. Now, what do you mean by the rainbow table? How does it work? Like rainbow table, assume a chosen plain text attacks. Because in the earlier session, we have studied about the different kinds of attacks that can be happen, like the plain text attack, known plain text attack, known ciphertext plain text attack, adaptive key exchange attack. So these all are the kinds of attack that is possible, that are the possibilities that attacker can do. So assume a chosen plain text attack. Now I think you all have knowledge about what do you mean by the chosen plain text attack. Let's move towards that slide. This is the chosen plain text attack and the chosen ciphertext also. So the attacker can obtain the ciphertext corresponding to an arbitrary set of plain text of his own choosing. It means attacker is having all the facility, that attacker can access the code, that attacker can select the sets of plain text and the set of ciphertext available. So it is a kind of attack where attacker is having some choices, like the plain text and the ciphertext. So when you are doing some concept like the time memory trade-off in the rainbow table, the concept behind that, how does it work? Assume a chosen plain text attack scenario. The attacker can choose which plain text to access. This attacker will use this attack the crypto systems. The attacker will use this attack the crypto system. Definitely this is a kind of attack which we are going to break the crypto systems. This is practical in the real world. Unix password hashing, hash include studio.h and hash n. This is the practical in the real world. Like two phases are there, like the pre-computation phase and the online attack phase. Pre-computation phase and what do you mean by the online attack phase? Both are the you know now that what is the pre-computation and the online attack phase, and now you all know about what do you mean by the chosen plain text attack. Now the word plain text meaning is already clear to you, and what is the concept behind the chosen plain text attack. So this paragraph, this above two paragraph are now clear to you. Now come to the point, like what do you mean by the rainbow table in the time memory trade-off when we are selecting chosen plain text attacks, like the pre-computation phase. Like in order to do the like in pre-computation phase, what you will do, like the rainbow table is a two column table. Okay. Now the concept for the rainbow, first concept for the rainbow table is that it is a two column table. One column will represent the starting point while the other column represent the ending point. These points are possible keys. It means these are the possible keys that what will be the key, so that we can find out the dedicated ciphertext from the plain text. This table is generated by a specific algorithm. So in order to generate this table, we need to apply some specific algorithm, like the online attack phase. While in the online attack, this is the rainbow table. While in the online attack phase, use the rainbow table. Like we are given a ciphertext to break, and now we perform a search on the rainbow table by using the another algorithm. So we need to apply some set of algorithm in order to access that table. This method this method is probabilistic but faster than exhaustive key search.